Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July, whether you're with family, friends, whatnot, or maybe you're just chilling, having your own barbecue. Whatever it was, I hope you guys had a great time. This is, yes, I had to think about a moment. This is Monday. It is July 6th. It is 2026. And yeah, we got a great show for you here tonight. We're in our second day of the master topic. We'll get to that in just a minute. If this is your very first time here, I want to take the opportunity to not only say thank you, but I also want to say welcome to you. If you've been here one time, 5 times, 10 times, 100, or even more, or maybe you lost track, I don't know. Well, I want to say thank you and welcome. And I also want to say something else to you. I want to say the words welcome back. If you guys are hungry, if you're thirsty, or whatever you are, feel free to go grab something, come on back and be healthy or not. That's totally up to you. Don't forget to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Also, check out JCM Academy, which you can get to from there as well, or just directly. We started doing something a few weeks ago. We take all the shows on Saturday, and I write about a 3,000-word article, and then I link all of the subtopics for each day, so you can always go back to the blog at JCM Academy. If you didn't know where to find them, it tells you the show. Like, for example, this week is a really good one. It's the power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. I think sometimes when we get uncertainty, it's a good thing, uncertainty has a lot of blessings in there, right? Our daily topic, let me get right to that, okay? What consists Series 5, show number 28, episode number 3. For those of you who don't remember how we do things, every Saturday we start off with a brand new master topic, which is a new show. So Series 5 means we're in the 5th year. We're not finished with the 5th year. However, we're almost halfway through. With the end of the year, we'll be done with Series 5. We'll be in Series 6. Show 28 is what we're on now, and we go from day 1, from Saturday, all the way to our Friday, which becomes our day 7. We don't go Monday through Friday. That's just how we decided to do it. The power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. And today it's about what consistency creates security. So welcome everyone once again, if I haven't welcomed you enough, to Inspirations for Your Life. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, passionate, lifelong learner, and so grateful now to be a published author of Drained to Driven. Yes. So this week's master topic is the power of steady trust. Building stability in uncertain times. Trust isn't simply believing everything will work out exactly as we planned. It might be something even better. Trust is continuing to move forward even when the future isn't completely clear. Even when things may seem gray or things may seem what they're not, but they're something else. It is believing that today's choices we make matter even when tomorrow's rewards haven't yet appeared yet. So today's episode is what consistency creates security. When people hear the word security, oh my gosh, they cringe. They often think about money, they think about careers, they think about relationships, or having all the answers. What I've learned is you don't need to have all the answers, whether that be boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, it doesn't matter. You don't need all the answers. You just need to be authentic in life, and you got to go with the flow. Okay. Of course there's respect and all that, but once somebody knows, you're going with the flow and you're being respectful, just go fly. Okay. In a good way, fly and enjoy the journey. See, those things may create temporary comfort for people, but the lasting security actually comes from something much deeper. Are you ready for me to tell you? It comes from knowing you can trust yourself. See, when you can trust yourself, other people, deja vu, they trust you and they want to trust you. See, that trust is earned. It is earned every morning you follow through. I've said what we do in private is actually what we wind up doing in public. Every promise you keep, every health habit you repeat, every difficult decision you make, every time you choose discipline over excuses, you're doing the right thing. And I've said to you guys that discomfort is where success lives. If you think success lives with discomfort, well, I'm sorry. You have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the name of the game. Consistency doesn't simply change your results. No. Consistency changes you. You need structure and you need consistency to be successful. So let's explore 30 powerful principles that will show why consistency creates security. Are you ready? All right. Number one, consistency builds emotional safety over time. And I think sometimes we fall into this emotional trap and we don't want to go any further because we make excuses, right? To where it is. We don't have to label something. It is what it is. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your relationship with yourself and you with others many times. That repeated follow through creates emotional safety because you begin believing that you can depend on your own decisions. I think that's a very important thing to understand. And when we can understand that, I think people have a better way of knowing that. And I can say to you guys, it's really important that you understand that. All right. Let me jump up to number two. Number two is repetition creates predictable outcomes. Life is never completely predictable. I'm sorry. It just isn't. But your habits can be more. That is, when you consistently repeat positive behaviors, the more reliable your results will become. I'm not going to tell you doing something once is going to yield you the diamonds. No. Okay. After all, I want to share something with you. To make a diamond, does anybody know how hard it is to make a diamond? How do they make precious diamonds? I don't mean the ones in the lab, the zirconia ones. I don't mean that. So precious diamonds are either forged naturally deep within the earth over billions of years or grown in highly controlled laboratories. Those are zirconias in a matter of weeks. Both types share the exact same chemical composition, pure carbon atoms arranged in a crystal lattice, but the ones that are in the earth, well, they're much more valuable, okay? And even things like sea glass, right? But that's why diamonds are worth so much. People say when you put that hard effort, you can make a diamond, right? Number three, stability comes from daily structure. Structure provides direction when emotions become predictable. I think that's important there. Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate that tonight. Always appreciate people joining us. We are live here this evening, and we always do replay 24 hours a day, and we're also on TV. A daily routine gives your mind something dependable to return to, regardless of how you feel. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to once believe that it's hard. But I want to tell you that you can do this. You absolutely can do this. You have more power than you think you do. Your mind is something dependable to return to, regardless of how you may feel right now. It can just shift overnight. Number four, small actions create actions which are long-term. Most people underestimate the power of small victories. Reading a few pages, exercising for 20 minutes, or finishing one meaningful task all reinforce your confidence and accumulate into lasting self-trust. Pretty cool, right? Number five, you cannot skip repetition, some other skill, right? And expect stability. You just can't do it. Everyone wants consistent results, but consistency requires repeated effort. The habits you repeat determine the life you eventually will experience. Keep doing the things you want to do, and you will reach that level. You want to become a millionaire. You want to become great at a skill. Keep doing those habits. Those habits will turn inside to change and then the outside. A lot of people try to change their outside first, but that's where they go wrong. You want to change the inside and then the outside will follow. Number six, routine reduces decision fatigue. Every decision consumes mental energy. Strong routines eliminate unnecessary choices so your attention can be focused on what truly matters. Number seven, discipline creates internal security. Discipline isn't punishment. It is freedom. When you know you'll follow through, regardless of your emotions, you stop depending on motivation and you build inner confidence. I said before that, we could think about discipline and we can think about motivation. And motivation is great. Don't get me wrong. You want to lose weight. You want to do a million things. Motivation is wonderful. But the minute your attitude changes, your mood changes, your motivation level just kind of goes down. Your discipline, on the other hand, is what can keep pumping up motivation. Discipline is what will help you get through what I like to call the rainy season. We all have rainy seasons, right? Number eight, random effort creates unstable results. Occasional bursts of hard work may create temporary progress, but they rarely create lasting success. Random effort produces random outcomes. Consistent effort produces dependable growth. That's important, but a lot of people miss that. Number 9, structure builds confidence. Confidence grows because your structure allows you to continue during difficult seasons. Your routine keeps moving even when your emotions don't. That's the real key, guys. Number 10, repeat action becomes identity. Every action casts a vote for the person you are becoming. The more often you repeat positive behaviors, the more naturally those behaviors become part of your own identity. And your identity is a big ingredient to what helps you become successful or not. Number 11, security is built through habits. Your future isn't built by your intentions alone. It is built by your habits. It needs intention, but that's not everything. Healthy habits create healthy outcomes long before anyone ever notices them. We don't do something so somebody can notice. We do something for ourselves so we can become better. If we're doing something to get other people to notice, well, then we already missed the boat. We want to do something so we can become better versions of ourselves. Hence the slogan, believemeachieve.com, my brand. When you believe, you will achieve. You have to believe in yourself before others will ever believe in you. Number 12, inconsistency creates emotional instability. When your standards constantly change, your confidence changes with them. Consistency calms the emotional highs and lows the inconsistency that it does create, unfortunately. Number 13, predictability reduces anxiety. When you know what comes next, your mind spends less energy worrying about it, uncertainty. But also, knowing every little step can cause you to be OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So there's a margin in there, right? For example, I go to the dentist's office, right? And they do the cleaning as they always do, and I always have great health. Well, they might have changed the way they're doing something like, well, wait a minute. Why are you using that tool now? I know you normally use the Cavitron. What are you doing with that? And I'll ask a question. It's like, I've only been doing this on my mouth for so many years, so I kind of know the process. Oh, well, we were doing this because there was tartar on this side and this tool would help me. Okay, just want to know because that hasn't been something you've ever done before. Oh, it's nothing, just we sometimes do that. Okay, just wanted to know. What comes next? Your mind spends less energy worrying about uncertainty. Predictable routines provide emotional stability during stressful seasons. We all get stressful seasons. Players get stressful seasons. Lots of people get stressful seasons. Number 14, systems outperform motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Systems, they stay. So we have to take the time to build the system slowly and correctly from the bottom up. Let's talk about engineering for a moment. Engineering a building, okay? There are a couple ways you can build property. I'm going to talk about down the shore we built our property. So one way is you can build on spread footings. Not very wise if the soil is going to be, going all different directions. You also can build it on bricks. Also not very smart if you're going to be by a very high water table. How do we build it? We built it on pilings. So when you build on pilings, you have a lot more work to do because now you have to get a piling engineer in there to figure out what size the pilings need to be, how proportionate they need to be from each other, the spacing. And are you going to sink them down the ground? Are you going to build a house atop it? Or are you going to have some around that the house gets built around? It all depends on the structure of the piling engineer. So when you build and you have a system that works, which they've been doing pilings for many years, they've done it in bulkheads. We put pilings in our pool at a high water table. The pilings around our pool kept our pool secure, even with the high water tables. A strong system carries you on the days when your motivation disappears. The system is like your discipline. All right. Good way to say that. Number 15, repetition builds mastery. Nobody becomes exceptional overnight. If you think they do, well, you're highly mistaken. Excellence is built through thousands of ordinary repetitions that most people will never, ever, ever see. Yes. The things that you do behind the scenes that nobody ever sees builds your foundation. Consistency removes the doubt. Okay? Doubt often grows when we make promises to ourselves that we never keep. So whether it's a small promise, a big promise, we need to keep it. Every time we follow through, we replace uncertainty with proof and remind ourselves we're capable and dependable. You see, what happens when you make a promise to yourself, okay, and you don't do it, you feel like, you know what? And it's like, all right, it was just that one time. But then it's, oh, you know what? I can't do it this time. And before you know, oh, I can't. And now you made 3, 4, 5 before. Oh, it's just, and then the whole thing just goes downhill, right? So once you break it once, right? It's like a diet too, right? People want to diet, like, oh, I'm just gonna have it today. Okay, today's fine. Today's your cheat day. Oh, I gotta have it tomorrow too. I mean, before you know it, you're doing it every darn day. All right, you get my point. Number 17, stability is earned through behavior. Stability is never something that it simply appears like out of thin air. It is created by the choices, okay, we make repeatedly. Every positive behavior strengthens the foundation beneath our lives. Number 18, daily discipline compounds results. Small disciplines may not seem significant today, but they grow with us in time. It's like interest in a bank. Those few cents or dollars don't mean anything today, but over time they could compound into thousands or millions of dollars, right? That's the thing that gets everybody excited, is that compounding interest. Our disciplined actions compound into extraordinary results. This is cool stuff, guys. Number 19, structure replaces chaos. Without structure, life becomes reactive instead of intentional. And when we think about intentional, to be intentional, we need to be proactive. I use the example of the fire, right? When there's a fire, you want to be proactive. You want to think about what you should do before a fire. Hopefully, God forbid, you never have one, but you want to plan for it. You want to have the right smoke detectors, check them frequently. You want to make sure you have the right fire extinguisher. You want to make sure you have the right escape bags so you can escape easily. You want to make sure you know your escape routine. How do you escape the house? How do you exit? Stop, drop, and roll. Do you feel the doors? What do you do? Practice that, all right? A well-designed routine provides direction when distractions compete for our attention. Because, oh, I don't want to practice this. A lot of schools, I know when I was in grammar school and high school, had all these fire drills. And even in college, they had these fire drills. Well, in college, they had a lot of fire drills that really weren't drills. There were people on the weekends that were somehow getting their curtains on fire in the toaster and all kinds of crazy things. And so when you plan, I remember the first time this happened, I hadn't had a plan. I was a freshman. Actually, no, I wasn't a freshman. I was a sophomore. And I was in this complex. They called it Regents, which I liked it. Regents was like an upgrade from the dorms. And so I got in there through the lottery, so I was lucky. And Regents didn't have air conditioning, but it was still very nice. And it was living in like more of a condo, right? But not a cement walled dorm like many are when you come as a freshman. And so I remember being in this place, and I remember it was actually one Friday night, the fire alarm went off. Okay, there we go. It happened again. I find myself rushing to have to get dressed to get out. So every night, I would have my jeans on the chair, shoes ready right there, jacket right next to the door, so I could literally throw my jeans on, throw my coat on, get out, and not take 10 minutes to try to get dressed. And after I did that for a while, there were a couple of fire drills. Well, they weren't drills, they were real fires. And then it didn't happen anymore. But now I was proactive. I wasn't reactive. People become stressful when they have to become reactive because that's when the danger is, right? That's when the worst. If there's an issue with a dam, right? Anybody can, try to solve the damage when the dam is broke, but it becomes harder, right? When the dam hasn't broke yet, we could think about ways we could fix it. Like there's a new technology out there now I was recently reading about where if a dam breaks, it uses the water pressure to actually cause this structure, this plastic structure, to actually inflate with just the pressure of the, it's actually a combination. I think it was of plastics. It wasn't a bag, it was like a plastic. The water pressure causes the whole thing to actually go the other way so it blocks the water. So it's actually pretty cool. Number 20, security comes from control of habits. We cannot control everything around us, but we can control many of the habits that shape our days. When we let go of things, okay, and I would never believe this many years ago, we gain more control. I don't know if you know that. When our habits become intentional, they create stability that outside circumstances cannot easily take away. Number 21, repetition builds trust in ourselves. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your confidence. Every commitment you honor reminds you that you can depend on yourself. Stability is behavioral, not emotional. And waiting until you feel motivated often leads to inconsistency. Real stability comes from continuing to do what is right, regardless of how you feel. If you wait to say, you know what, I'm going to wait till I feel like doing this, you're never going to feel like doing this. So you need to have the discipline to kick your butt. Number 23, systems create freedom. Good systems remove unnecessary decisions and free your mind to focus on what matters most. Freedom grows when your life is supported by strong systems. So you get my message. Start creating some systems, guys. Don't, jerk around. Create some systems now. Take your time to build them, experiment with them, get the ones you like, refine them, and keep using them over and over again. Number 24, routine is emotional grounding, okay? During seasons of uncertainty, familiar routines become emotional anchors. Simple morning routine, daily exercise, or intentional planning remind your mind that not everything is out of control. I'll give you one of mine. So every morning when I get up, first thing I do, before I'll have breakfast, before I take my shower, I do about 120 seconds worth of holding a plank and holding my chest and everything in and squeezing. And so I do that. And then I give an extra 5 seconds to make sure I haven't rushed it. And then usually at night, I will do some lifts or I'll do some crunches. And then I'll also do another 20 seconds. That is something I have to do when I get up. I have to do in the morning. It was the other night. It was July 4th. And that was a long 4th of July because we had July 3rd. It was starting. Went to hear about the ball dropping in Washington, D.C., which was amazing on July 3rd. And then they did the fireworks, which was an amazing, spectacular thing of the fireworks. It was the largest firework display I've ever seen. It was amazing. It was immense. But when these things happen, okay, I want to go to bed after that, right? So normally, since it's late, I'm going to just brush my teeth and go to bed. I didn't do that. I said I got to brush my teeth, but then I've got to do my planks. I've got to do my push-ups or my lifts and then do my planks and then go to bed. It was after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but I had to do that before I went to bed, okay? Intentional planning reminds your mind that it's not right now about everything being out of control. You're getting control. Number 25, repetition builds resilience. Every challenge you face prepares you for the next one. Repeated effort teaches us that setbacks are temporary and growth is always possible. We're going to see rain, right? But the sun will come out tomorrow. You know that song, right? Number 26, consistency reduces fear. Fear often grows when we stop taking action. Every step forward weakens fear and strengthens confidence. Number 27, structure improves clarity. When your life has structure, guess what? Your mind suddenly becomes less cluttered. You spend less energy deciding what to do next and more energy doing meaningful work. Number 28, discipline creates reliability. People trust those who consistently follow through. They develop a good reputation. People want to be around those people. Discipline turns good intention into dependable actions that others can count on. People want to be around others and with others, people you can count on, you can depend on, right? Call that trust. Call that accountability. Number 29, habit design shapes outcomes. Your future is being designed by the habits you practice today. By intentionally designing your routines, you begin designing your future. You're creating discipline. Number 30, guys, security is built one action at a time. Security is not created by extraordinary achievement. It is built through thousands of ordinary actions repeated with purpose and consistency. So, guys, as we get ready to close today's show in this episode, remember that security is not something you discover. It's something you create. We weren't born with security. We build it. We create it. Every consistent action you take today is preparing you for the opportunities, challenges, and successes of tomorrow. That's the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, my advice to you is this: keep showing up, keep building healthy habits, keep trusting the process, even when the results seem small or futile. One day, you're going to look back and realize that, hey, wow, the consistency you almost overlook became the very thing that transformed your entire life. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today on Inspirations for Your Life. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I invite you to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com, of course, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. You can get my short form content. You can get my long form content. You can get my articles. You can get my reels. So much stuff you can get there. Of course, you can go directly to JCM Academy and read my weekly blog. There's lots of stuff there as well. I think a lot of people, when they hear the word consistency, they do it 3 times, like, okay, it didn't work. You only did it 3 times. Yeah, I did it 3 times. That's not being consistent. Consistency is doing it until you forget the number of times you're doing it. We have a saying in the Roman Catholic religion: forgive 70 times 70. So when I tell people, how many times did you forgive? I only forgive people 70 times 70. They look at me like, huh? Yeah, what is that? That's 4,900 times that I don't forgive anymore. What we're trying to tell people is that really you keep forgiving forever. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember this: consistency creates confidence. Confidence creates stability, and stability creates the freedom to become the very best version of yourself. And that's all we want here, isn't it? Keep trusting your journey, ladies and gentlemen. Keep investing in yourself every day, and keep living a life that inspires not only you, but everyone around you. Stay inspired, stay consistent, and guess what? I'm going to see you again on another episode of Inspirations for Your Life. Be sure to check out all of my amazing, inspiring content at BelieveMeAchieve.com. There's tech stuff there, motivational stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Have yourself a great rest of your day or evening. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow with a brand new episode. Take care, everyone, and start being consistent and start building some discipline now.